Yeah. What is up, friends? Welcome to another episode of Big Kid with Will Bryant. I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. You see this jersey I got on? Obviously, for you guys listening, you don't. Don't worry. I'll paint the picture for you. You know who it is. You know who it is talking to you right now. You think I'm just going to leave you in the dark? No. I'm wearing the Bulls, the black Bulls jersey, number 23, the GOAT, Michael Jordan. And there's a reason why. This right here, episode 23. This is my Jordan episode. Remember way back, friends of mine, remember way back when we turned 23? And some of us said that stupid thing like, this is my Jordan birthday. I don't think I said it, but I know a lot of people that said it. Well, I waited till I was 35 to use that phrase, and I'm not using it for my birthday. I'm using it for my podcast. This is my Jordan episode, son. Rocking the 2-3. And you already know that this joint is a kid's extra large. You already knew it. You want to know what's so dope about this Champion kids extra large, which it says right here on the tag, meant for 18 to 20-year-olds. This jersey that I'm wearing right now, Champions kids extra large, meant for 18 to 20-year-olds. That means your boy is so fucking young for 35 that I could rock this 18 to 20-year-old fit. It has nothing to do with the fact that my body has never developed into full adulthood. That's not what it means. This joint right here, by the way, reversible, son. Look at this. What? Yeah, the other side has the same thing in red. Remember those reversible jerseys back in the day? They don't make them anymore. You know why? Because they want you to buy every single individual color. I don't know why I said that one syllable at a time. Like I'm a big timer. Remember Everybody Get Your Roll On? They rap like one syllable at a time. I come over here, you stay over there. I think I'm on one tonight. I don't know. Sorry, I worked a bunch. I'm off 2 days in a row. I worked last night. I had to work on the 4th of July. I had to close the cafe, the Olive Tree Cafe. It wasn't bad. We'll get into that in a little bit. Before that, though, let's get the boring stuff out of the way. Be sure to follow me on all platforms. I'm Will Bryant. That's the same thing on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, even Spotify. 3 words at I'm Will Bryant, Bryant. I know I'm wearing the Jordan jersey, but it's still like Kobe. Be sure to rate and review this podcast too on Apple. I have 3 whole reviews right now, which actually, I'm not going to lie. When I checked it earlier this week, I was pleasantly surprised. Because I know one of those reviews is me. And I know the other one of those reviews is my girl, Val. So I was very pleasantly surprised that one other person out there in the world reviewed my podcast. I think I've got a couple of ratings, but review, no, or is it the same thing? I don't know. Rate and review, damn it. Go do it if you want to be my friend. I wish I could see like who. Actually, I probably could see who reviewed it. Anyways, I'll figure it out. And if you haven't liked and rated and reviewed, you're dead to me. But not really. So let's keep going. I was saying how last night I closed the cafe, In case you're a little confused, perhaps you haven't been following my life. Yes, I work at the Comedy Cellar. What you need to know is that the Comedy Cellar is also a part of the Olive Tree Cafe, which is right above it. So anyone that works at the Comedy Cellar usually has shifts at the Olive Tree Cafe. The money shifts are down in the cellar, but everybody kind of has to contribute to those Olive Tree Cafe shifts. Here's the cool thing, though. This is the first time. Last night was the first time that I closed at the Olive Tree Cafe. I've been opening a bunch. I've trained to close, but I never closed by myself. And it was not bad, because the Olive Tree Cafe serves as the pseudo green room for the comedians that are there to perform at the cellar. There is no actual dressing room or green room or anything like that for the cellar for the comedians there. So if they want to kind of chill anywhere, they chill upstairs in the Olive Tree Cafe. They have their own couple of tables that's designated just for them. As an aspiring comic, working somewhere where if I'm closing at night, I get to just kind of eavesdrop, listen in, be around conversations that comedians are having with each other. That's like me sitting right under the learning tree, man. Aside from a comic taking me under his wing and blatantly teaching me shit, me just listening to comics talk to each other about comedian shit, that's the kind of thing that aspiring comics would probably pay for. So I got that last night in closing the Olive Tree Cafe. Not to mention having some actual conversations with comedians, you know. Me being such a fan of comedy, such a fan of so many different comedians, and just having so much respect for the craft, I kind of just get giddy when I even have any interactions with the comedians. I'm sure that the longer I work there, the more that'll kind of fade, but I'm still in the honeymoon stage, and it's really cool. It's really fun. So yeah, I mean, last night it was weird because it was the 4th of July on a Tuesday where everyone had work the next morning, you know, except like people without normal jobs, like us bartenders or people in the hospitality industry or comedians. So the cafe was like basically just comedians and me, and not many other, you know, regular people with normal jobs, because everybody was either watching the fireworks somewhere better or at home watching them on TV and then going to sleep so that they could get up for work the next day. Can I say watching the fireworks on TV with a room full of comedians just chilling together, killing time until they go up on stage was wildly entertaining. It was like when you watch, remember when DVDs used to come out with like commentary that you could listen over the actual like sound or whatever? Listening to a bunch of comics react to the Macy's fireworks spectacular, I would have watched it on Netflix. I would have watched that version of it on like HBO Max or the Max, whatever it's called now. It was so fun. It was really, I enjoyed that. Working at the cafe is kind of, it's weird. It's cool, but like my most interaction with customers is I pick up the phone a lot. Because you got, you know, it is, everyone has questions about how the Comedy Cellar works. Hey, I have reservations. Can I add one? How does it work? This and that. It's a lot of just phone calls with the same kind of questions over and over again. I remember my first time training in the Olive Tree Cafe. I was listening to the person training me respond to all these calls, and it seemed like it was a bunch of the same things over and over again. Asking to cancel a reservation, asking to make a reservation even though they're made online, asking to add to a reservation, asking about show times, etc., etc., etc. I got the gist of it pretty quickly within one day, and I felt pretty confident about picking up phone calls. Having to speak to people doesn't really scare me the way it scares other people. You know how they say that public speaking is the number one fear in the, I don't know if it's in the world or America, who knows? It's like the number one fear amongst people. I think Jerry Seinfeld had a bit about how public speaking is the number one fear in the world. Number 2 is death. 1 is talking in public, 2 is death. So his bit like went something along the lines like you'd rather die before having to give the eulogy of your own funeral. You'd rather be the guy in a casket than the guy at the podium. Somehow. I think that's one of the few things that went my way when God was creating me. You know, remember that song by NSYNC? God must have spent a little more time on you. That song was not about me at all. God saw me and was like, all right, fucking get over. He can have long hair for a while. That was, he gave me that. And also, for some reason, he forgot to instill in me the fear of public speaking. That does not exist for me at all. You put me in front of the entire stadium, I will talk. In fact, you tell me that I can talk and everyone is forced to listen to me. That's the biggest stroke of the ego you could give me. Anyways, that also comes to like speaking to strangers or striking up a conversation or whatever, stuff like that. So working in the hospitality industry or working in at bars, talking to people was never really an issue for me once I got used to it. This first day that I'm at the cafe, it's also the first time I met this other dude that I work with, who's also like, he's an up and coming, aspiring comic who's maybe a year or so into the game, and him and his girlfriend, who is also an aspiring comic, who's also over a year into the game. They've already like started their own comedy show that goes on once a month. It's called New Kids Comedy. I'll put the link to that in this week's episode in the notes. New Kids Comedy. I think they have a show coming up in the middle of this month. They usually have like an established comic that headlines, and then a bunch of up and comers like them that are trying to just get their foot in the door to kind of lead up to them. It's similar to the way that I throw parties, where like I make myself the headliner. I don't get a legit big name to headline, but I make my own parties to give myself a platform, you know. So it's really cool what they're doing. New Kids Comedy, that's called. I'll put the link in the bio. I mean, in the show notes. Anyways, this dude Greg, I introduced myself to him, vice versa. Very quick 1-sentence introduction, and a couple of minutes later, I hear him talking to someone else with like this deep Southern accent, and I felt really dumb because I thought to myself, "Wow, I did not catch that accent at all when I introduced myself to him. That accent did not register for some reason. That's really weird." And then a couple of minutes later, he was doing like another accent, like English, like British type stuff, and I was like, "Oh, he's like doing." Of course, he wants to be a comedian, so he's working on his accents at work. Like I thought, like of course, you work at a comedy club now? This is the type of shit you're gonna have to like just see and be used to. Your coworker is just working out accents on you. You are his test subject. I didn't realize, but I felt real dumb at first. I was like, holy shit, this kid's from the South. I had no idea. And it turns out, no, it's just one of his like characters. Why am I bringing this up? Because it has to do with me answering the telephones like I was mentioning before and not really having a problem or a fear of talking to people. So the person that was training me she made sure I was paying attention on each one of her phone calls, and she looked at me and she was like, you think you could handle the next one? And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And right on cue, the phone rings and I pick up. And it's this gentleman that calls with sort of an accent. And he goes, hey, you hire Joshua Chia? I said, what? You allow Joshua Chia to perform? This is a comedy place for comedy. Yes, sir. This is a comedy club. Yeah, this is the Comedy Cellar. Yeah, you know Joshua Chia? What are you saying, sir? Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? Hey, fuck you. Hey, fuck you. Fuck you, okay? Hey, fuck you. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking around. I swear to you, I'm looking around. And I'm like smiling. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. Because I don't see Greg anywhere. And I'm like, this guy... He's trying another accent on me, and this is like the way they get the new guy. They're hazing the new guy. But this ain't my first rodeo, you know? This ain't my first time around the block. I'm not gonna get Will Bryant. Do you know who I am? You must not. Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Will Bryant. And I ain't falling for that shit. Hung up that phone. I looked at the person training me and I was like, okay. That's like a thing you guys do? And she was like, why, who was it? I was like, it's nobody. Never mind. Okay. She's like, okay, whatever. Not even 2 minutes later, phone rings again. I pick up. I'm still training. Thank you for calling Olive Tree Cafe and Comedy Cellar. This is Will. How may I help you? Hey, yo. Hey, you know where Malaysia is? You know Malaysia? Do you know Malaysia? Yes, sir. Yes, I know Malaysia. Yeah, I know about Malaysia. I know of Malaysia. Hey, you know where Malaysia is? You know where it is? Where it is? You know where Malaysia is? Like roughly, like in my head, it's over there. Like if I have a map, I'm here. It's over there. But I didn't know how to tell him that, sir. Sir, I'm calling you sir. This is how I felt. I was like, sir, I mean, not exactly. I remember this is what I said. I said, sir, I mean, I can't give you the longitude and latitude of Malaysia, but I know the vicinity. Which, by the way, no, I didn't. I don't know I realized in that moment, I don't know the vicinity of any country anywhere. I could be so off. Because that map that we, like, base our life on is so wrong. Like, some countries are the size of continents, and then you realize that that's not even the way it is in real life. I don't understand how to... I felt so dumb. She's like, hey, yo, you know where Malaysia is? Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't know what degrees you are at. No. Hey, you give a chance to talk. That's not nice. Fuck you, okay? Fucking. I was just like, is this like, all right, sir, is this like a thing? Like, I don't know. And then Greg, who was serving tables outside in the patio area, walks in, not on a phone at all, doing his job, and I'm still getting cursed out by Malaysian man. Hey, yo. Hey, you know where Malaysia is? Fuck you. Hey, you look at just like here. It's like, what the hell? I was like, oh, this is real. This is real. I hung up again. I didn't know what to do. Got another call. I was like, holy crap. This time it was someone else. Is it this the comedy setup? Yeah. Fuck you. Hey, just let here. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck just let here. They hang up. I have no idea. These are my first 3 phone calls that I've ever picked up as an employee of the Comedy Cellar. And I'm getting cursed out and questioned, quizzed, intrigued, interrogated about Malaysia. I had no idea what's going on, man. Not until hours later, because the phone calls finally stopped. And I went on with the rest of my day. And I, closed the cafe up, or was being trained on how to close the cafe up. And we went out across the street for some drinks at like 3 in the morning when we were all done. And I figured as the new guy, I should go for drinks to kind of try to ingratiate myself with people. And it was good because, they all got to talk to me. A lot of them realized, like, oh, okay, this guy's not bad. And, excuse me. At one point, I was like, dude, I looked at Greg and I was like, I thought at one point you were hazing me tonight. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I got a phone call with some, like, multiple people with this thick-ass accent just cursing me out. And everyone was like, why? What? I was like, I have no idea. But they're all really mad at me and asking me about Malaysia. And then Greg was like, oh, that makes sense. And I was like, what the fuck? How does that make sense? What are you talking about? And he mentions this comedian named, my throat is making noises. If my mic is catching that, my bad. It's just the effects of this rolling rock. Do you want to record a podcast and then have your trachea make a bunch of noises that sound like gurgles and gargles? Well, all you need in your life is a rolling rock. Finish that rolling rock. And you know what I got to do? I got to follow that up with another rolling rock. One day, I will get a Rolling Rock sponsorship. Watch. So Greg tells me that there's this comedian named Jocelyn Chia. And suddenly, you know, in movies that have a twist, whenever the twist is revealed, you flash back to all the scenes where you should have seen it coming. Everyone was yelling at me, Jocelyn Chia, Jocelyn, Jocelyn Chia. You know what Jocelyn Chia? Jocelyn Chia. Chia. She's a comedian. And apparently she made a joke that people in Malaysia did not like. And she did it on our stage. I heard the joke. I don't know. I don't think I have anyone in Malaysia that listens to my podcast yet. And in case someone in the future, someday ever does, this is a preemptive apology. So I thought it was kind of a funny joke, but I get it. Apparently, I forget the specifics. Perhaps I should have like done more or written down more things. I did. I did the research. I read about it. But it's like weeks ago. I forgot. It was like 2-3 weeks ago now. Malaysia. Let's see. Let's type it in right now. Jocelyn Chia. Look at that. It comes up. Malaysia. It's like the first thing that Google. You want to know what she said about Malaysia? New York Post did an article about it. U.S. comedian Jocelyn Chia won't apologize after backlash over, quote, hurtful, unquote, Malaysia joke. A video of a joke about the 2014 disappearance of a Malaysia Airlines flight has stoked outrage in Malaysia and Singapore, but the U.S. comedian who told it isn't saying sorry. Jocelyn Chia, a Boston-born American Singaporean stand-up comedian, performed the bit at Manhattan's Comedy Cellar back in April. This week, social media users were incensed after the club posted a clip of the joke in which Chia made light of the historical tensions between Malaysia and Singapore. So I remember Jocelyn was talking about how Malaysia and Singapore had like this deep-rooted rivalry going on, and I think it stems back from the fact that Malaysia, I think, maybe kicked Singapore out or like basically made. I think they were together as a country at one point, then they separated. I don't know. This sounds like the worst explanation of history ever. And listen, I understand. I get it. But essentially, Malaysia told Singapore, get the fuck out of here. You'll never be as good as us. We don't want to be associated with you. And then Singapore went on to be like one of the most financially successful like countries around. Like there's a lot of billionaires in Singapore, and apparently Malaysia is still like a third world country. And this comedian Jocelyn Chia, she was like using that as ammo for jokes. Like, fuck you. You guys kicked us out, and like look where you are now. Fuck you. And she said something about, let's see if I can find the exact quote of the joke. It looks like the New York Post didn't want to actually post the joke, but here we go. She likened the split between Malaysia and Singapore to a romantic breakup and imagined Malaysia trying to woo Singapore back, saying that it hadn't visited it because my airplanes cannot fly. Malaysians hadn't visited Singapore people because their airplanes cannot fly. And then when that joke, that punchline, whatever, didn't get a huge laugh, she then added, what, Malaysia Airlines going missing is not funny? And added one more quip. Some jokes don't land. But because if you remember, that Malaysian flight is the one that mysteriously just never landed. There was no one could ever find the plane crash site. No one ever found anything about the plane. It's like one of those shows where a plane takes off and just never lands. And if that plane lands in 4 years from now, and everyone on that plane has to deal with life as if they were dead for 4 years, that's basically what 3 different shows that you could stream on platforms are right now. That Malaysian flight that took off and never landed, that's what that joke was about. Some jokes don't land. Just like that Malaysian flight. Well, people in Malaysia did not like that joke. And they took it out on her and just a little bit on me. Because they were calling and they're like, yo, hi, Jocelyn Chia. Hey, fuck are you? You know where Malaysia is? You know where Malaysia is? You shame on you. Go fuck are you? Fuck are you? I didn't even know Malaysians spoke English, but they know fuck you. They know fuck you, man. It's been fun, though. It's been fun. I said before, you know what? I'm done with the Malaysia shit. Well, I'm here with the Jordan 2-3 celebrating my Jordan episode. And I got to do that with a shot. So, hear that. Pouring some tequila out. You know, this bottle of tequila was chilling on my shelf. I got a little pseudo bar / shelf area downstairs in my basement where I keep all my liquors. Half of it, probably 2/3 of it, is stocked by my brother from another mother, James. New dad for 4 months now. James, he just brings bottles over whenever we chill. And, the dude works at a liquor store, so it makes sense. And I was just like looking through my collection because I wanted some tequila someday. And I've been doing, whatever tequilas, some Jose Cuervos, some Terramanas, some what was that other one? Gritona. And I see this bottle chilling, and I thought it was like just some Herradura, like Reposado or Añejo. And I pick it up, and it says Herradura Aniversario 150 years. So I guess it's the 150th anniversary of Herradura, and this bottle has been aged for 100 months. And I said, holy shit. I have a tequila in my crib that's been aged for 100 months. That sounds pretty wild. And I looked it up. This right here, if you tried to buy this bottle of tequila right now, it would cost you anywhere from $350 up to $600, depending what site you bought it from. I'm telling you because I looked it up right now, right before I said this, just to make sure I wasn't talking out my ass. Because I remember looking it up when I first started drinking it about a month and a half ago. And I remember I don't know if I texted him directly or saying in the chat, I was like, God damn, James, you gave me a $500 bottle of tequila and didn't even mention it. This dude just brought it and like left it and went home like a ghost in the night. So, to celebrate my Jordan episode, I want to take a shot of a $500 bottle of tequila. Thank you, James. This jersey. My mom bought me this jersey. I don't even know she bought it, but like she was volunteering at this it wasn't a flea market. This church had like I don't know if it was what do they call it? Like a clothing, not a bank. It was a way for the church to make some money to help out with stuff. Parishioners would bring in stuff to donate to the church, and then other parishioners would come in and buy it. So I guess I don't know. Flea market, a church garage sale, whatever it was. And my mom helped kind of, run it, or like she would be there every week to help with the, I don't know, logistical stuffs. Whether it was having to set stuff up, sell stuff, whatever. She'd help. She just wanted to help. One of the, I guess, perks of that is she got to see all the stuff, all the clothes that came in before anyone else saw them. And she saw this. And so she bought it herself. And one time I just came home, and she was like, hey, do you like this? And it was a freaking Michael Jordan reversible jersey from back in the day. Like this is a legit vintage Champions Kids Extra Large reversible Jordan jersey. Like, yeah, hell yeah, I like that. I already had another Champion XL jersey. It was just red, but the fact that like she found one of these reversible ones, these bring me back, dude. I had reversibles back in the day. Don't have any of them anymore. I wish I did. Although they were probably like men's extra large back then because I was such a fucking fat ass. So yeah, I've been looking on eBay for more Champion Kids XL jerseys. There's so many dope ones. Gonna cop a few. Man, next week is gonna be episode 24, and I don't have that Kobe 24. I got Kobe 8. I don't even think I wore it for my 8th episode. Stupid. But I'm here with the 23 for Jordan. You know what that means, right? That means I gotta buy that 45, that Jordan 45 jersey. Because if you don't remember, he was number 45 very briefly when he returned from retirement. So whenever episode 45 is for me, I'm at 23. What is that? So 22 weeks from now. How 4, 8, 16. I guess around December. Does that make sense? Maybe I should get that Jordan 4-5 for the 45th episode in December. Maybe. Anyways. Shout out to my mom for copping this jersey for me. She called me earlier this week. Or last week, actually. And she was like, hey, Billy. Hi, how you doing? I love you. Don't forget, your dad's birthday is tomorrow. And I was like, oh, shit. Thank you, Mom. Fucking coming through. Like moms always do, huh? I know when my dad's birthday is. His birthday is June 28th. But for some reason, it was June 27th, and nothing was clicking in my head. I'm such a bad son, dude. Nothing clicked in my head. I know my dad's birthday is in June. So you would think June 1st, I would have like a countdown, like, be ready, we'll be ready, we'll be ready. When it's November, I know that I have 19 days till my mom's birthday. But when it's June, my brain forgets that my dad ever was born. I don't know how that happens. My mom called me June 27th. She's like, hi, Billy, love you. Call your dad tomorrow. It's his birthday, you fucking idiot. And I was like, oh, shit, you're right. Thank you, love you too. Won't fuck that up. So the next day, I call my dad. I call my pop's cell phone. And 100% my dad saw that and assumed that I had just tried to call my mom and she didn't pick up. Because that's the only time I ever call my dad. I only call my dad when I call my mom and my mom doesn't pick up the phone. Because my mom is... The reason I'm so bad at phones, it came genetically from my mother. I'm the worst at like replying to texts. If you call me, I might throw my phone out the window. Like I don't want any vocal interaction with anybody. And if you FaceTime me, I might drive myself through the fucking wall just to escape that FaceTime video, dude. I don't understand people that like... my friend Dave, like, he's this weirdo that like thinks he's the epitome of the person that hates texting. He's like, why am I gonna text if I could just fucking call you and get it figured out in like 3 seconds like that? It's just because I don't want to talk to you, dude. I don't. And then if I ignore his call, he'll FaceTime you. Like, oh, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to talk to you, but I would much rather have you look me in the eye through Wi-Fi and then verbally accost me while visually breaking me down. That's what I want. Yeah. Psh. Dude, I come from the era of hiding when I heard the doorbell ring. You think I'm going to fucking pick up a goddamn FaceTime? I don't care if I've known you since high school. That makes it worse. I'd rather pick up a FaceTime from a stranger and be like, who the fuck are you? The fuck out of my phone. So I call my dad. He's like, hey, what's up, Billy? You want to talk to your mom? I'm like, oh, no, Dad, no. I don't want to talk to Mom. Happy birthday. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's today, right? Yeah, thank you. I like how the moment that I say something like happy birthday, or like whenever I have to wish him a happy Father's Day, you realize I say have to wish him because my dad makes it so awkward to wish him anything. when I say like, "Hey, pops, happy Father's Day," he acts like Robert De Niro being forced to talk to the press. He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I worked really hard on it, and appreciate it. Thank you very much. Can I stop talking to this guy? Are we done with him? Thank you. Goodbye." And he wants nothing else to do with that conversation at all. Hey pops, happy birthday. Oh yeah. Thank you. Who the fuck is this guy talking to me? I love you too, son. How are you? Life is good. Please, someone get this kid away from me. Yeah, Billy. Yeah, okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Do you want to talk to mom? My dad. That's his catchphrase whenever I speak on the phone with him. We say 4 words to each other, and then if you want to talk to mom, I called you. Although 9 times out of 10 he's right, because I only call him when my mom doesn't pick up. If I'm calling him, he's looking at his phone and then looking for my mom. Like, why didn't this bitch pick up her phone? This stupid. I know we're in a grocery store, and I know she's shopping for like 10 things right now. And I'm sitting down, not moving at all. But why didn't this bitch pick up her phone? It was my pop's birthday. I called him. Hey, pops, happy birthday. Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. Want to talk to mom? I mean, no. And I didn't want to tell him, like, no, I don't want to talk to mom because I talked to her yesterday when she reminded me to call you today. I didn't want to tell him that. So I was like, nah, I'm good. What's up, Bobs? What you doing for your birthday? Meanwhile, I know exactly what he's doing for his birthday. It's the same thing he did for the day before his birthday, and it's the same thing he's gonna do for the day after his birthday. It's fucking sit at home and do nothing. But I love the retired ass way that he fucking explains that to me. Because it's not sit at home, do nothing. No. It's just relaxing. It's always relaxing. Like he's getting off of like a rigorous workout. He acts like every time I talk to him, he just came home from Planet Fitness and like just PR'd or some shit. You know? He acts like I just called him and his goddamn muscles are still pulsating. And I'm like, hey, Pops, what's up? Nothing. You want to talk to your mom? Nah, Pops, I want to talk to you, man. What are you doing? Right now? Just relaxing. And I'm like, that's good. Why? Are you tired? Oh, yeah. Oh, so tired. I'm exhausted. Why? From what? Nothing. Want to talk to your mom? God damn it. I get it. He's not a phone guy. Not a phone guy. That's why when I called him for his birthday, our conversation pretty much consisted of, hey, Pops, happy birthday. Oh, thank you. Just relaxing. Want to talk to your mom? And I was like, nah, not yet. You know, like, I think I can squeeze another couple of minutes out of you, you know? And that was rough. Because you know what happened? It was, I can only ask about the Yankees like so many times. I'll be like, hey, so you saw the Yankees? Yeah. So Judge is hurt. Yeah, he's hurt. Yeah. Probably relaxing. Yeah, probably. Yeah. But, you know, still doing good. That guy had the perfect game. Yeah. By the way, when I said that, don't even think my pops even knew about it. But the Yankees are his team. I'll talk to your mom? Not yet. He was giving me these like 1-word, 2-word answers, and I felt like an interviewer like dying. Like interviewing someone that just didn't want to give me nothing. And then suddenly I realized that my mom had been like just watching him talk to me this whole time, because the moment that he was like lame, the moment his answers were not really hitting, My mom was like yelling at him. Talk to him. He's calling you for your birthday. Talk to him. I am. I'm talking to him right now. How can I talk to him if you yelling at me? He's on the phone. You're talking to me. Because you yell at me. What? And I'm on the phone listening to my parents argue with each other. And the reason they're arguing with each other is because my mom doesn't think that my dad is talking to me well enough on the phone. And I'm on the phone like, holy shit, this is not making it any better. Like, I could have just talked to my dad for another 2 minutes, been like, all right, Dad, happy birthday and peace. But my mom had to come in and just be like, I come in like a wrecking ball. Fuck your birthday call, blah, blah. She was like, talk to your son. I am. Like, Jesus, leave us alone. She made it so awkward. And they finally stopped yelling at each other. My dad's like, hey, Billy, you still there? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I'm still here. You want to talk to your mom? No. Happy birthday, Pops. And goodbye. Peace out. And he sounded so happy. Oh, thank God. Oh, goodbye, Billy. Oh, shit. That was brutal. Boop. I know my Pops loves me, but I can also know that he doesn't want to talk to me on the phone. And I get that, because you know what? Is this really terrible for me to say this? I don't really want to talk to him on the phone either. Am I an asshole? I don't really want to talk to him on the phone either. Here's the reason why. It's not because I don't love him. It's because if you have someone as a guest and you have to interview that person, and the moment you get there, you realize this motherfucker does not want to be interviewed at all. Do you want to interview that person? No. That's my dad. I love him to death. He doesn't want to talk. So I don't make him talk. Every now and then, I strike the correct conversation or the correct fucking cadence or make the correct fucking sequence of jokes that gets him loosened up and he'll just talk when he wants to. But on a normal basis, that dude doesn't want to talk. And I get it. Leave him alone. My mom, she'll talk about everything. She'll talk about stuff that I tell her I have no idea what she's talking about. She's like, oh, okay. It's okay, though. I'll clue you in. Then she'll clue me in on nothing and continue to finish the story. It's all good. My pops didn't want to talk. I didn't take it anyway. I was just happy that he was happy that this conversation was over. That made two of us. My pops is weird like that. My pops has always been weird like that. That's the thing. He's never been conventional. And whenever I saw something on TV that showed, middle America, what Pops was supposed to be like, I was like, oh, that's not what I experienced. You know what the sex talk was for me? One time I was hanging out with my Pops watching some movie that should not have been on TV, but he just fucking left it on because he wanted to see it. I was like 8. And it was not appropriate. It was obviously leading to a sex scene. And he left it on. And it went to the sex scene. And now I'm watching this sex scene with my Pops. And he just looks to me. And he looks at the TV. And he looks at me. And he points to the TV. And looks back at me. And he goes, hey, you see that? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, don't do that. Okay. That was it. That was my sex talk. That's what I was educated on in the world of fornication. One sex scene, like softcore shit on like Cinemax. I don't even know if it was Cinemax. There's probably like a sex scene in some fucking like R-rated HBO movie. But either way, Because if I say Cinemax, it makes it sound like my dad made me watch softcore porn with him, which is even weirder than my dad making me watch like hardcore porn with him. Imagine like a dad thinking like, no, I'm not going to make my underage son watch hardcore porn, but this softcore Cinemax shit, he's ready for this. Let's fire it up. But it's okay. It'll be a teachable moment because, hey, son, you see this? Yeah, don't do this. Okay. Sex talk done. Over with. Bang. He checked that shit off of his like life lessons checkboard. He's like, all right, I'm not this kid's biological father. I'm a stepfather. But I will take care of all the necessary plateaus in this kid's life. One of the early ones is the sex talk. I know exactly what I'll do. I'll put a sex scene on TV. Look at my stepson. Look at the TV. Tell my stepson, don't do that. As I point at the TV, problem solved. Sex talk done and over with. And that's what happened. That was my sex talk. My dad put on a fucking sex scene, pointed at it, and said, don't do that. That was it. My pops was good like that. My pops was good. My pops was like the last of a dying generation. And by that I mean the generation that could not instantly be proven wrong by a simple Google search. Because let me tell you something. Growing up, if I could pull out a fucking magical device and fact check everything my father ever told me, the dichotomy, the relationship between him and I would be eons different than what it is now. Because I used to take what he said as gospel. Gospel. I mean, from simple shit like in said sex scene, he pointed at the woman's boobs and without explanation or detail or any semblance of further, I don't know, just there was no, he did not worry for 1 second if I understood what the fuck he was telling me. Because he looks at this woman with big breasts and he goes, you see those? Those are plastic. That's it. Nothing else. So I, like as a child, look at this woman with these big bajangas and he's like, those are plastic. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible. Fucking technology, dude. The way they move. It wasn't until like years and years later that I realized my father, my stepfather, who's my fucking father, don't you worry, was just trying to tell me that that is a product of plastic surgery. And plastic surgery is just the name they give to shit like breast augmentation and butt lifts and facelifts and whatnot. Now, admittedly, it's a pretty bad name because there's nothing plastic about it. When a woman gets a boob job, her boobs are not plastic. She doesn't come out there looking like Malibu Barbie, dude. But my dad thought it was perfectly fine to tell his like 8-year-old stepson during the sex talk, which was watching a sex scene and saying, don't do that. He also threw in, by the way, those tits, plastic. So for the longest time, I thought that the bigger your boobs, the more like plastic they were or something. Like, I don't know. Like the only way they grew big is because they got like fucking stiff or something. I don't know. You know how confused I was when I started seeing boobs moving? I was like, that doesn't look plastic at all. He'll just say shit and not give a... Like, do you think I've ever gone back to my dad and asked him, like, hey, Pops, why did you ever tell me boobs are plastic? No, that conversation never happened. You want to know why? Because this is how the conversation would go. I'll call him. He'll pick up. Hey, Billy. Were you trying to call mom? No, I'm trying to call you. Oh, okay. Wait, what happened? Pops, why did you tell me that tits were plastic? You want to talk to your mom? God damn it. He just doesn't care what he says. I'm telling you. I could explain to him right now what Google means. What Google does. What Google is capable of. I can explain it to him in detail. And I promise you, the very next thing we talk about, he will be telling me something outlandish, outrageous, and incorrect that I could easily prove wrong. But you know what? I won't, because I love him and because he's my dad. Like, growing up, my grandmother was legitimately suffering from Alzheimer's. Her memory was going. But if you asked my pops, my grandmother did not have Alzheimer's. No. My grandmother suffered from old timers disease. My mom would like just vent. Like, oh, my mom isn't remembering anything anymore. And my dad would look at me as if it's a teachable moment. And he'd be like, Billy, you want to know why? That's because your grandmother, she has old timers. And I'd be like, wow, what's old timers? Oh, that's when you forget everything. I was like, oh, Pops, do you have that? No. Fuck you. You want to talk to your mom? Get out of here. Old timers. And then I eventually learned in school that there was a disease called Alzheimer's that coincidentally had all the same effects as old timers. And I asked my dad, hey, Pops, when you tell me that Abuelita has old timers, do you mean that she has Alzheimer's? My pops looked at me dead in the fucking eye and says, yeah, they're the same thing. Same thing. They're one and the same. And again, like a naive, stupid son, I was like, okay, Dad. Okay, Pops. He was my stepfather, and I grew up without a father for like 4 years. So I guess I was perhaps maybe overcompensating. I was like, you know what? I didn't have a dad, so whatever you say goes, dude. Old timers, Alzheimer's, plastic boobs, don't do that, whatever. Got you. He literally said, yeah, they're the same thing. He didn't say, oh, I guess I got it wrong and it's Alzheimer's. No. Or he didn't say, well, that's kind of just a nickname. No. He looked me dead in the eye. And he said, well, they're the same thing. Old timers and Alzheimer's. Ask your doctor. I never confronted about him. I just learned that he was just wrong, and I went about my life. Isn't that what you're supposed to do as a good son? Isn't that what we're supposed to do as a good son at a certain point in age? There's a certain point in age where you realize that your parents are getting so old that they're going to say dumb shit. They're going to do dumb things, and now it's up to you to let that shit slide. Because you know what? They did it for you for your entire fucking life. So I guess I can do it now. I can start doing it now. It's fine. Another time my dad set me up, dude. Remember I was watching something on TV. I think it was one of those like CD compilation commercials where like you can buy like a double disc CD with 38 songs, and the commercial gives you a preview of like all the 30 songs. Like, got a Marvin Gaye song going, like, and then they got like an Aretha Franklin song going, and they got like a Patti LaBelle song going, you know. And I remember at the Marvin Gaye song, my dad's just like kind of watching me enjoy it, and he just looks at me and goes, "Hey, you know he's dead, right?" And I didn't know he was dead. I was like, "Oh, okay, that sucks, I guess." You know how he died? And in my head, I was like, "You just learned that I didn't even know he was dead. So obviously, I don't know how he died. But fuck it, I'll play into this shit." "No, pops, I don't know how he died." And he goes, "Oh, his dad fucking shot him." I was like, "God damn, I was not expecting that." His dad shot him? Yeah. Marvin Gaye's dad shot him. You want to know why? And I was like, "Yeah, sure. You already got me hooked. Keep going." He goes, "His dad shot him because he was gay." And I go, "Okay. Good to know." I'm about, I don't know, 13 at this point. Perhaps a freshman in high school. I was a 13-year-old freshman because my birthday is late. I got that Christmas birthday. Fast forward a whole year later. I think it was my sophomore year. I think that's when Dave transferred in to prep. And one like lunch break or something, or a free period or whatever, Dave's got an old soul. Dave's the only person I know that when Spotify wraps up your year, this motherfucker has like Tony Bennett and like fucking Frankie Valli on his fucking top 5. And I'm here with fucking like Tiesto and Bad Bunny. He's an old soul. So he was listening to Marvin Gaye, and he was like, you know, he put his like mini disc player in my ear. And he's like, "You know about this? You know about Marvin Gaye?" I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." And I heard that song. Or whatever song he played. It's probably some love song. Because I remember I looked up at Dave, and I felt like, yeah, here's your chance to use your knowledge about Marvin Gaye. And I heard this song, and I look at Dave, and I was like, yo, it's crazy that all these songs, this whole time that he was singing about like loving and fucking and all this shit. Dave's like, yeah. I'm like, isn't it crazy that he was always singing about men this whole time? And like I was like just vibing to Marvin Gaye. Meanwhile, the whole time Dave's just looking at me like, the fuck? Motherfucker, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, oh, because he's gay, obviously. Dave, you idiot. You're the idiot in this scenario. Marvin Gaye is gay. And his dad shot him for being gay. Didn't you know, Dave? You idiot. You naive fool. Didn't you know that? Simpleton. And Dave stood there, towering over me with his broccoli-haired head. He just looked at me and goes, "Marvin Gaye ain't gay, dumbass." And I just looked at him like, he's not? And he just like yells at me like, no. I had no idea. I went home that day and I asked my dad. I was like, "Pops, did you know Marvin Gaye wasn't gay?" And he looked at me like, okay. I don't know. Maybe. I'm like, "But you told me he was gay." And he's like, I did? I don't know. His name is gay. And I realized, God damn it, why did I believe him? Why did I believe him? You know what pisses me most off about this story? Is that I was watching the stand-up special one time, and Tom Segura has this bit in one of his stand-ups about how his father once told him that Tommy Lee Jones is gay. And that he believed that for his entire life until he met somebody that is personal friends with Tommy Lee Jones. And told him to his face, like, I know Tommy Lee Jones. He has a wife and kids, and he's 100% not gay. And then Tom Segura called his dad and said, Dad, Tommy Lee Jones is not gay. And his dad said, oh, he's not? And thought he was. That's it. And I saw that, and I was like, wow. I can never use that story as a bit now. Because Tom Segura's dad did the same fucking shit to him, man. God damn it. He probably did a better job than I ever could about it. Ah, my goddamn dad. My goddamn dad. Gotta love him. It's all good. I lost a bit, lost a story. I had some confidence in at least, like, feeling when I heard Tom Segura tell that bit on stand-up, and when I heard how funny it was, I felt, instead of feeling too, I don't know, robbed. It's weird to say that I was robbed, but like, instead of feeling too down on myself for like losing something I thought was going to be a good joke someday, I felt better about myself for coming up with a premise that was proven to be a good joke, a successful joke by a successful comedian. It gave me this like moment of like, I don't know, self-realization that like, you know what? You do have funny ideas. You do have funny premises. They may be thanks to your parents, but fucking use it. So Tom Segura got that Tommy Lee Jones joke. Good for him. I basically had the same thing happen to me with Marvin Gaye, but I'll never use it as a joke. So instead, I'll tell this story on this podcast, and you guys get to enjoy it here. With that being said, I think I need another shot of this $500 to $600 tequila. Ooh, am I? Yep, this is the last one. Last shot. Look at that. That's a $500 bottle of tequila turned completely upside down during episode 23 of Big Kid with Will Bryant. Bottoms up. Cheers. Thank you, James. I'm here in the final stretch of this episode. And, you know, I had a bunch of other shit I wanted to talk about, but I've been basically just talking about my parents. So, you know what? Let's keep talking about my parents. I just told you a bunch of shit about my pops. A couple of random things about my mom. I say random because I literally just looked through my notes. And I was like, I bet I have shit in my iPhone notes about my parents, about my mom, my dad. And yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Go figure. One random thing that I had. I literally just had this sentence written down in my notes. And the sentence read, told my mom we went to a cafe. That's it. That's the sentence. You wouldn't think much of that, would you? Here's the thing, though. That sentence comes from, that seedling of a story comes from me going on this trip with my cousins and my aunt and my uncle. My cousins that lived in Richmond Hill, they were going on this whitewater rafting trip. And I did not even know what the fuck whitewater rafting was. Whitewater rafting? What's blackwater? Is there blackwater rafting? Clearwater rafting? Whitewater rafting. What the fuck does that mean? I didn't know. They're like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I was the young cousin, the youngest of the clan. And my mom was not going, and my dad, hell no. You want to know why my dad wasn't want to go? Because he was gonna, guess this, relax. He had just finished training for Mr. Olympia, so he needed to relax at home. And my mom was just like, "Hell no, I ain't doing that shit." She stayed back in Queens with oh no, that was a different trip, wasn't it? That was when I went to Orlando. That's something else. Never mind. I went on this whitewater rafting trip with my cousins and my aunt and uncle. And it was awesome. It was a great time. It was the first time I ever went on this whitewater rafting trip. It was very chill, and then with a few moments of intensity, it was great. Some people fell off the raft. Whatever. I did fine. It was great. I just remember it being a great time. The thing that sticks out most to me from that trip is it seems so stupid now, but on the way back home, my aunt and my uncle took all of my cousins and myself took us all to eat at this cafe, like right off the highway on the way home. No biggie. But I don't know. I guess growing up in like Queens, growing up in Flushing, Queens, and Jackson Heights, like we don't have a lot of cafes. We got restaurants. We got burger joints, chicken joints. We got Spanish places. We got Asian places. But like a place that's labeled or branded as a cafe, like not really. So we went to this cafe. Except there's one problem. I didn't know that's how it was pronounced. So I looked at the sign, and I don't remember the name of the place, but I 100% remember that it ended with cafe. So whether it was like Highway 51 Cafe or like Ricky's Beautiful Tavern Cafe or the Whitewater Rafting Cafe, I don't know what it was. It was something cafe. But me being the young, naive, stupid piece of shit child that I was taught that if there's a vowel followed by a consonant and another vowel, that first vowel is then a long version and not a short version. So that's not cafe. That's CAFE. That spells cafe. Right? So I looked up at the sign. I was like, wow, we're eating at the Whitewater Rafting Cave or Ricky's Cave or the Highway Cave, whatever it was. I was at a cave, not a cafe. I was at a cave. There were no cell phones back then. I'm pretty sure that to contact my mom, someone went to a payphone and called her. Because I'm pretty sure part of the agreement for me to even be allowed to go on this trip with my cousins and my aunt and my uncle was that there had to be some sort of phone call conversation to be had at some point in this trip. So we're at this cafe, but I think it's called the Cave, and they put me on the phone with my mom. And my mom's like, "Hi, Billy, how you doing? Where are you right now?" And I said, "I'm doing great. We've been rafting all day. We've been on the water rafting all day. It was a lot of fun. And now we're in a cave." And my mom was like, "Qué?" And I was very confused why she reacted that way. And I was like, yeah, we're all chilling. We're all here together. We're in a cave right now." ¿Qué? ¿En un cave? Yeah. ¿Está oscuro? Is it dark? No, they have a lot of light. Oh, You okay? Everybody's okay? You stuck? How you talking to me? What do you mean how I'm talking to you? I'm on the phone. There's a phone here. The cave has a phone? Yeah, the cave has a phone. Like, what? Why is this? It takes quarters. What? It wasn't until years later that I would come to have this had this sort of epiphany. And I realized my mom, when I told her cafe, C-A-F-E, and mispronounced that motherfucker like a motherfucker, cafe, my mom thought I was telling her cave, C-A-V-E. And my mom envisioned me whitewater rafting down a river. And then our raft suddenly getting stuck in a cave. And somehow we call her from a cave. And her son gets on the phone with her and is like, hey, Mom, I'm in a cave right now. Oh, my God, mijo, are you okay? Yeah, everything's good. I just ordered appetizers. ¿Qué? In a cave? Yeah, they have mozzarella sticks. What? Where'd you guys go? This is fancy. Wow. My mom thought that I was in a cave, whitewater rafting, ordering mozzarella sticks in a well-lit environment. That's what she thought was going on in Pennsylvania when I'm with my cousins and my aunt and my uncle. Like, I know we struggled in Jackson Heights. But Ma, you think that the moment that you let your child enjoy life outside of the burdens of our poverty, that I'm going to experience a goddamn restaurant in a cave? I love you, Mom. I love you. She was like, ¿Tienen luz? They have light in the cave? What? That was such a weird conversation. She looked at she was like, Joey, que tienen mozzarella sticks in un cave. What? That don't make sense. Pregúntale. Talk to him. Ask him. Hey, Billy. What's up, Pops? Your mom says you got mozzarella sticks in the cave over there. Yeah, they're pretty good. Oh, okay. You want to talk to your mom? God damn it! She put you on just now. God, son of a... Never wants to talk to me. My mom, man. Been looking through like my notes, and I had one word written. It said husky. Husky. And then here's the thing. I bet there's a bunch of fucking dog people out there right now that when I say husky, they think of a beautiful, regal dog with just gorgeous hair that loves the snow. You want to know what I think about when you say husky? I think about fat kids. You want to know why? Because I was a husky kid. You don't know what that means? Guess you were a skinny piece of shit. Because you know what? When my mom had to take me shopping for fucking outfits for school, for my school uniform, in Young's World, in Jackson Heights, we'd walk into the fucking store, and the son of a bitch that worked there, she'd walk up to us, and she'd look at me and be like, oh, your son's in the husky section. And my mom would be like, yes, he is. Like, all proud and shit. And I'd look up like, what the fuck does that mean? The husky section. Am I a dog? No, mijo. Husky just means, And then she starts fucking holding her arms out like she's holding loaves of bread in front of her. Like, You know, husky, mijo, it's like this. And she holds her arms out like she's just supporting double D breasts. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? Are you trying to say that I'm fat and that we have to shop in the fat section? No, mijo, you're not fat. Tú eres husky. Tú eres husky, mijo, no fat. Husky. What does that mean? Más grande. God damn it! I don't want to be más grande when it comes to fucking shopping for pants, dude. Husky. You know how damning that is to a fucking mind that's still developing? Sorry, I was drinking in the middle of that. Perhaps I wouldn't have to drink so much if I weren't told at such a young age that I was a husky child. I had my own section for shopping for uniforms. Like, no, you don't fit in the normal children's section. You have to go to the fat section. Oh, is that what it's called? No, we call it husky. Why? What am I? Am I running the Iditarod? Am I a fucking snow dog? Why? Is Cuba Gooding Jr. behind me telling me to mush? Why am I a husky? The hell is going on? I'm husky. You know how damaging that was to my psyche growing up? I was told right away, you are fat. You shop somewhere else. You don't get to dress like the other kids ever do. Ever. That definitely fucked with my mind to this day. To this day. By the way, I popped that little Easter egg in there like every couple of episodes. Shout out to Deontay Wilder and whoever gets that reference. To this day. But yeah, you know how fucked up that is? To tell a kid, like, no, you shop in the husky section because you're too fucking fat to wear this clothes. But you know what it is? When you're a grown-ass man, there's no husky section. No, you just shop your size, dude. That's it. What are you, 32, 34, 38, 42, 46, whatever. Just shop your fucking size. There, you don't go into fucking Banana Republic and say, excuse me, sir, I'm looking for some pants, but these all seem to be for normal people. Where's your fat section? No, there's just sizes for people. I was a husky child. Husky sounds cool because you think of a dope-ass dog until your mom turns around and tells you, no, mijo, husky doesn't mean perito. It doesn't mean woof woof. No, husky means gordo. You're fat. Wow. Fucking kill my soul. I'm husky. That's what I remember what it was like shopping for fucking uniforms with my mom. One time I was with my mom back right a block away from where we lived in Flushing, Queens. We had just gotten out of this Korean deli. I think we were just buying something simple like milk or something, you know? Dad's waiting at home. And this Asian dude like takes something out of his pocket and in the process drags out just a wad of 20s from his pocket accidentally and drops them on the floor and keeps walking. This happens right in front of me. Instinctively, I bend over, I pick up the money. I just grab a handful, like two fistfuls of 20s in my hands, clutch them close to my chest. And then I realized, fuck, I'm with my mom. And I look up to my mom, clutching these recently found, discovered, some would say even stolen, chest full of 20s. Then I look up to my mom and I know that she's just about to tell me, like, well, mijo, you know what's the right thing to do? Go up to that man and return his money to him. And I knew that was coming, so I just fucking held those 20s in my hand. I looked up to my mom and just waited for the instructions to come. And that's when my mom looked down at me, looked down at those 20s, and looked back up to me. Then she looked at the street, and she said, cross the street, go, 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 go. And I was like, oh, shit. We're in the middle of a heist now. We're robbing this motherfucker. I'm a thief. We are thieves. I ran across the street, fucking hightailing it, dodging traffic that wasn't even there. My mom's running across, adrenaline fucking racing through her body because she's never done anything like that. The guy is walking down the street on the opposite side of the block, has no idea what he just did. This guy has no idea he just dropped all this money. Me and my mom turned the corner, started walking right back to our crib. We're like just a couple of feet from our crib, and I take out the fucking money. And I thought it was like maybe this dude dropped $20, $40, $60. No. This dude dropped like $120, $140, $160. I don't remember the exact amount, but it was it was less than 200, more than 100. Let's put it in that fucking vicinity of money. And I was like, holy shit, this is a lot. This is the most money I've held in my hand. And I immediately, as a good son, wadded all the 20s up before we even got to the crib, and I presented it to my mother. I was like, here, Mom, this is yours. And my mom, like she envisioned the interrogation in the police station. As I handed her the money, she said, no, mijo, I'm not touching that. That's all you. That's all you. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you can keep all of that money and all the problems that come with it. And in my head, at the time, I thought my mom was the dopest fucking bitch in the world. Like, my mom helped me steal $160, let's say, and helped me get away with it, and didn't even want a fucking cut. She's not even like these mafiosos that want their taste. Then, years later, I realized, oh shit, she was just keeping her hands clean. She regretted the decision and didn't want anything to do with it. And if anyone ever asked anybody about stealing money, she could say, it was my son and not me. I could just imagine myself getting arrested and calling home with my one phone call. And then my dad picking up. And I go, Dad, I just got arrested because Mom told me to pick up $160 from the floor and then left me out to fucking dry. And my dad would be like, wow, that's crazy. Do you want to talk to your mom? No! I don't. I really don't. Oh. I don't want to talk to my mom. Truth is, man, I do. I do want to talk to my mom. I always want to talk to my mom. And I always want to talk to my dad. But I don't always want to call them. I like when I'm in a conversation with them. I don't like having to call them, man. Here's the thing, man. My dad was born in 1942. My mother was born in 1950. I understand that the minute hands on their life is ticking in the wrong way. So I say all these stories just to, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to give an entire episode to my parents. My dad's birthday kind of made me realize, like, you know what? Like, I don't know how many more of these I'm going to have to call him, to talk to him, to be with him. So, happy birthday, Pops. And, no, I do not want to talk to Mom. Not right now. I will later. That's kind of all I've got, guys. I didn't have this like grandiose topic for today. You know, I didn't quit a job. I didn't get another job. I didn't have to talk about bartending with depression and anxiety. I didn't have to talk about, I don't know, some other monumental thing. I honestly thought we've had a little bit of a weird month here for us here at Big Kid, and this was a good week. I had a good week. I'm feeling pretty good, pretty positive. And I kind of just got back to basics on this one. I looked at my iPhone and I said, you know what? What are a bunch of just notes you have that you didn't talk about for a while? And there was a lot about my parents, and I put them all together, and I was like, you know what? You got... In a week where you just had the most conversation with your mom and dad you could ever have, when all you wanted to do was wish your dad a happy birthday, why not just talk about your parents for an episode? You know what I want to do? And maybe it's one of those things that I'm doing on this podcast to force myself to do things. Like that time that I said that I'm going to force myself to be a stand-up comedian by the end of the year. And then within a month, I got a job at the Comedy Cellar. Kind of crazy, right? All right. So something else I'm putting out into the ethos, something a lot more simple, a lot more wholesome. I kind of want to, I want to do an episode with my mom and my dad. I want to actually fucking talk to them and drill them for all the shit that I've always wanted to know about them that I never asked them straight up. So hopefully someday soon I'll have an episode with my mom and my dad. And I look forward to making that happen. Because now that I said it out loud, means I gotta do it. That's the way it goes. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. As always, man. I love you guys for doing so. It really helps when you, as I said earlier, rate and review my podcast on Apple Podcasts. So be sure to do that. Follow me on all platforms. That's at I'm Will Bryant. 3 words. At I'm Will Bryant. Like Kobe. This has been Big Kid with Lil Bryant. I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. Thank you for tuning in to my Jordan episode. Next week, it's my Kobe episode. Don't think I'll have the jersey, but either way, looking forward to seeing you there. Till then.